Hello there guys, Professor Deck here, back with another Chaos Galaxy video, and today I'll be playing in the No Response tournament, and I'll be going through my matches against the four players I played against. Uh, yeah, sadly the group stage is complete, and I'm pretty sure I didn't make it, but I did have fun playing most of the games. I say most because there was one which was not so fun. But yeah, I'm just gonna cover all the matches, sort of like go through my decisions and why I made certain decisions. In this specific match, I was against Finnthedemon, and I will say that there were a lot of misplays, a lot of mistriggers. Uh, but yeah, I'll just go through the game and you can see it for yourself. Uh, yeah, so I'm gonna speed up the video here. So yeah, we go for the coin flip and I win. I decide to go second. In Chaos Galaxy, you always go second because it's just better. You just get an additional card, and stars in Chaos Galaxy don't really matter too much. But anyways, my starting hand is great. I think this is one of the best starting hands ever. We have A to counter any really hard to deal with activators, so that's just good to have. And then we have four I would say low costed creatures, with one being Beast of the Conjurers, which will allow me to sort of like advance my board state. And of course we have Moltown with Shios, which means I'll get a lot of card draw in this game. And you'll see that Moltown actually draws me way too many cards for what this card does. So yeah, immediately just attach it. I don't even need a resource zone or anything. I can just make that play and then start to draw cards. So I start adding counters. I do miss some of the counters sometimes. Uh, so yeah, be prepared to see it. But yeah, so I'm gonna play out the blur here because I drew into one Rowdy. And that's really, really bad. You don't want to have two Rowdies and a blur in hand, because the blur becomes like a very useless 4-star creature, which has very bad stats. So definitely gonna play it here just to thin out the deck. Uh, so Finn does play a resource zone here, so I'm like slightly worried about activators. So I'm just gonna get a resource zone myself, so I at least have an AAA to counter it. Uh, but yeah, it is a little scary, but I'm not too concerned. He plays it on Blur, which tells me that he's probably on Shape Knights with the Serpent as like a random win the game against the mirror kind of card, I would say. It's kind of weird, but I can understand the decision to play Palifalls with Shape Knights. So yeah, it's a pretty spicy deck. He does play Lionel, which is a little bit annoying. Uh, but yeah, I think it's not too bad. I'm just surprised that he just played Lionel with nothing else. Uh, but it does stall out the game a little bit. So I'm just gonna abuse the fact that he played out Lionel here by playing a mole, so I get to uh, take out some activators. I initially wanted to just counter this planetary field, but I ended up not doing it because after calculating here, I realized that this is just an extra turn for him. And since he didn't play out a Hexator, it means he doesn't have one in hand. So honestly, this planetary field is just like gain 4 stars, draw an additional card. And he's forced to buy another zone here just to like not exceed with his stars. Um, yeah, he just decides to go for the Galaxy Crash. Honestly, this board state is not the worst, so this Galaxy Crash is quite early, and then he doesn't have a follow-up play, which tells me that his hand is really, really bad, with no good creatures considering he has 13 stars. A little weird, but I'm just gonna play Lightning Squaws to start adding to the Social count. He does immediately kill it with a Scorn, which is not the worst play. I would say that it's decent because your Squaws is kind of hard to deal with, but it is a little early to be using the deck's like main removal card. Uh, yeah, I was lucky enough to have a Thorngabork in hand, and I'm just gonna attack it since Thorngabork has pretty decent stats, to be honest. So over here, he does go into the tank a little bit. Yeah, he decides to just kill it with another Scorn. I guess he doesn't want me to draw cards, but I am drawing like a lot of cards off Shios already. So I will say that that play is not the best, but I think his hand is just really, really bad. So yeah, he doesn't have like Hexators or any of the important Shape Knights, so it's pretty bad. And I do draw a Soulshroom here, so yeah, I'm just gonna go for the Rhino, getting the Mole out, and then I'm gonna be able to either look at his hand or get one more activator. And at this rate, I'm just way too ahead. There's almost no way for him to come back, even if he has a Divine Doom. It's it's not gonna be the best position for him. So he does play a Polygram, and I believe he took back Scorn. Yeah, he took back Shape Knight Scorn, and I'm pretty sure he's just gonna kill both of the creatures. Normal play, honestly. But he does kill off his own arena, which is a little weird because it would be nice to just keep the Scorn with the arena out. But I guess he just wanted the resource zone potentially for an activator. I'm not too sure what he had. But in this position, I'm super ahead. I can choose to either let him attack and Beast of Black Hole, but his board is really, really small. So I just decide to go for the Pelfam play, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So I just go for a Pelfam play. Obviously, don't want to return the Scorn. I want to get rid of it as soon as possible. So yeah, I'm just going to kill it and then pass the turn. He does replay the Lionel, which is kind of getting annoying. I just straight up can't attack him directly. But it's okay. Sadly, he does play out Light Beam Rider, which is pretty annoying. But I do have like certain plays here. I was thinking whether to like Planetary Field. I can't remember if I did or not. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I let it go through because minus 200 is just way too much. And I do top deck Serpent here, and with the Shios draw, I draw into another Moletown. So now my Shios draw engine is just super good. I get to draw 2 cards every 3 turns. Yeah, in this position, I have so many decisions I could do. I could steal his Light Beam Rider and just start attacking in. And I decided to go for the super greedy play, which is to steal Light Beam Rider and then play Great Serpent, making the For Sale sign lose the ability, which basically means he won't be able to steal it back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I go for this play. I'm actually thinking whether I could just beast it, but yeah, I just decided to go for the super big tempo play here, which is just steal the Light Beam Rider, make the Lionel reduce power, go for the Serpent here, and now yeah, basically he can't steal using For Sale Sign because For Sale Sign lost its ability. He does go for Beast Out of Black Hole, but I'm just gonna immediately AAA. I've held that AAA for so long. So I'm guessing he had the Beast from the start, and now he basically has no more answers. He has used most of his half-ban cards, which are all the good answers to this board state. He could Divine Doom, but even if he does, I have a Lava Behemoth, I have Serpent, so I could just attack with these 2 for game. Yeah, so he's gonna play the Octorius here, which is pretty scary, but yeah, it actually doesn't have that many stars, so he's just gonna game 4. He plays out Scorn, which means he can kill off one of my creatures, but like I said, it's fine. I could just wipe it using Beast of the Black Hole, and then attacking these two for game. And I'm pretty sure that's what happens. And I'm just gonna skip forward to, uh, yeah, just be a bit quicker because this game was still pretty long. It was quite a big, like a few exchanges before I just ended up winning the game. So yeah. So in the next game, he's going first. As for the sideboard, uh, yeah, let's just take a look here. So I believe I brought in a few sideboard cards. Yeah, so I brought in Seal of Eternity and Shape Knight Scorn. These are like the must bring in against the Shape Knight deck. I actually have Abandonment, but I didn't really want to risk the fact that he could just change planet, and plus there isn't a lot of like uh, important stuff I want to like remove with Abandonment. So yeah, I didn't bring those in. I didn't want to like sideboard everything, and I'm figuring out what to take out. Yeah, so I take out the Blur because Blur is just an extra card, and I believe I took out Zamerzid and a few others. I think I took out Time Flash Portal as well because I don't think I need those. I don't really want. I want to like remove all the Shape Knights completely, instead of just killing it with a Time Flash Portal and I have to deal with it when it comes back. Plus Time Flash Portal is just meant to like swing in to close out the game, but my deck generally is okay to like play the early game as well. Yeah, I just felt like Time Flash Portal wasn't very helpful. So starting the game again, I do have another Moltown, which is super lucky. So yeah, the game's basically over the moment I have Moltown in my starting hand. It was super good, and I just drown him out in card advantage. Because I'm going first, I'm just gonna go for the huge Lava Behemoth swing because I do have a Abomination Tomb in hand, so I could just like keep bringing back the Lava Behemoth. So yeah, sadly I do use all my stars here, but I do bait out one of the best cards, which is Galaxy Crash. So baiting that out is super good because I don't have to worry about just flooding my board. He does play Blur here. It's just a small creature. I'm not really concerned about it. I just draw a card off Shios, and I get Seal of Eternity, so his arena is basically sort of useless. Sadly, I don't have a lot of stars to work with after getting the resource zone, so I'm just gonna pass. Uh, yeah, he's just gonna attack in. He just wants to start gaining stars here, so he can start like flooding his board a little bit. So I draw into his second Abomination Tomb, uh, but I don't really have a good play for it right now. So yeah, I'm just gonna play Beast of the Conjurers here, get an extra creature zone. Honestly, Beast of the Conjurers is such a great value card because getting a zone for like less than its cost is actually super good. And having a 260 body on a 6-star creature is also pretty decent right now. So I think Beast of the Conjurer is pretty nice. And of course I can just keep swinging at him for 3 points. And this actually baits out a Beast of the Black Hole. I think he was really concerned about not being able to deal with it. And I assume his cards in hand are super bad. He does play out a Scorn here. I was kind of confused about this, but I guess he wants to start gaining points as well. Yeah, I don't know what was really going on. But he does play Monument to Creation. Pretty good card with like against the Shios engine. And he decides to Planetary Field, which probably means that he's gonna kill the Thorngaborg with the Scorn ability. He does have a Zamerzit, but he doesn't kill it with the Scorn, which is pretty surprising. Uh, yeah, yeah, both of us misplayed quite a lot this game, to be honest. Uh, yeah, in this position, I have like a lot of cards to work with. I can choose to like get more zones with Beast of the Conjurer. Uh, but yeah, I decided to just go for Rhino, kill both of these, and then potentially get an activator out because he does have quite a few cards in hand. And yeah, I think this was the better tempo play in my current position. And I got pretty lucky. I was able to hit the uh, I was able to hit the black hole blocker, which is a pretty concerning card to play against, especially since I have Beast of the Black Hole. So that was pretty good. He does Divine Doom my board. This is quite a tough board to get through for Shape Knights, so that is understandable. But he does show that he has Beast of the Conjurer, so I was kind of confused. I would just play honestly. I would just play Beast of the Conjurer and keep attacking, since Beast of the Conjurer has like pretty high uh, health stat. So yeah. Anyways, here I do think for a little bit. I'm only on 7 stars, so it's a little tough, but I do have Planetary Field to sort of slow down the game. But he does play the Light Beam Rider, which is a really hard to deal with board state. And sadly, after beasting, he does have the AAA, so it was a little tough here. But I just decided to play Behemoth and start like tempoing him out, removing his resource zone. So now he has to keep paying stars to get it back. So yeah, I think this position is pretty okay. And plus, I have Planetary Field if he does decide to do anything, like kill by attacking and killing the Lava Behemoth. He does play Abomination Tomb. I immediately answer with a Seal of Eternity. So yeah, he plays Lionel and just passes. I think he's trying to just stall out the game here. Sadly, yeah, I have Scorn, so I just kill off the Lionel. Yeah, I was actually thinking of just killing off the Lionel, but I realized that that was a super big misplay, because to kill the Lionel, I have to kill my own Scorn. For some reason, I thought I could just kill Beast of the Conjurer and Lionel. Uh, yeah, like I said, it was a really bad timing. It was like at 1 a.m. when I was playing this game, so yeah, that was a super big misplay. But since this is a tournament, I have to go through with the play, and I already paid the stars, so I can't really retract it. So yeah, I'm just gonna. I think I just play it and then just attack in. I'm pretty sure. Uh, yeah, so I'm just gonna attack in. And I have to destroy my own resource zone, which is pretty bad. And he decides to get a resource zone off his Beast of the Conjurer, which is okay. It's not the worst play. So yeah. So in this position, I'm really ahead. He has only 3 cards in hand, only 1 Lionel in play. The best card he could have here is Divine Doom, but even so, you would need a second Sinding creature in your hand. So I'm assuming his hand here is really bad, and I'm just gonna be able to keep attacking. Uh, so yeah, it's really bad for his position, and I believe here he just forgot to replay Lionel. Uh, but yeah, he has the Light Beam Rider and decides to minus the Scorn to just attack with the Lionel and attack Lava Behemoth. But I have Planetary Field, so yeah, he wasn't able to get through this board state. And after he plays this Light Beam Rider, there basically isn't a lot of cards that can deal with Behemoth. The only way to deal with it is a Hexator now. Uh, so yeah, and I remove his zone, so he has to keep wasting stars just to buy the resource zone back. And even if he does play the Hexator, I have a lot of answers. I can just Abomination Tomb the Lava Behemoth back. And he does actually have the Hexator, uh, and he has Serpent. Sorry, he has the Rowdy, but no Serpent. So he's just gonna clear my board here. So in this position, top decking Galaxy Crash is great, but sadly I don't get to top deck it. I am running low on cards, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Uh, Usually Chaos Galaxy ends before you deck out, so yeah. I'm just gonna go in for a pretty safe play of Orboff with Beast Star Conjurer. He's basically forced to answer these cards, and it's a pretty it's like kind of slow, but I am kind of worried about Divine Doom, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep attacking in and gaining points, and yeah, it's pretty much over. He plays a Trongulon, but because he has both Lionels out, it basically doesn't do anything. And yeah, I have the Galaxy Crash and with the Soul Shroom and Abomination Tomb, so I'm just calculating if I actually have lethal here, and I definitely do. Yeah, so I just Galaxy Crash, and because I have AAA, I basically like can't lose this in this position. I already saw him use Beast of Black Hole, so yeah, the game's basically over here. So yeah, I just play these out, and the game ends. He only has 2 cards in hand anyway, so he probably didn't have it. So the last 2 cards in his hand were Deep Space Lighthouse and Monument to Creation. So yeah, pretty rough. It was really rough game. But other than that, I think he played pretty well. I just think that he had really bad draws, which is why he was making such weird plays with the Scorns. Uh, but yeah, GG's to Finnthedemon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know if there were like any plays that could have been made better. If there are, just comment down below, and I'll reply to those comments. And yeah, with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.